Inspiring is what we're here to do. Hi guys, my name is King Kelvin, aka Gapted. Forget about the Gapted, don't worry, you'll figure out later another episode why some people call me Gapted. And welcome to Radiance Pod. Radiance Pod is a podcast set aside for young adults to inspire young adults like myself and you. And we're here to, have several discussions on so many interesting Christian topics. We're here to go into the deeper way of the Christianity. I'm also here to have fun, catch cruise, trending topics and everything. And I have a co-host here with me.
Hi guys, my name is Marvelous, also known as Empress. And what inspired me to start this podcast is to inspire my generation and to show them that living for God is possible.
And yes, and that brings us to our first amazing topic, which is being a Christian in this generation. We're Gen Zs and we have our forefathers, our mothers and fathers. I want to ask a question. What's the difference between our generation and, our father's generation?
Okay, I think the difference between our past generation and this current generation is the commitment to the gospel. Because our past generation did not actually set Christianity apart. Christianity was part of their life. But this generation, we have online sermons, we have podcasts like this, and so it makes it look like depth is more decreasing and stability is increasing. But I don't think this generation is worse because we are more expressive. We want to know more about this religious belief, not just following it blindly. What do you think?
Well, I think the limitations were there then, like for our fathers and our mothers, because I don't think they had access to the internet. And probably before you get to listen to the sermon, you have to go, maybe walk some miles away from your house to get the message or to listen to the pastor. But we Gen Zs, online, right? Like she said, online, YouTube, TikTok, podcast. You can even download sermons online. We now have digital libraries, and all these things are made available to make it easier for us to receive the message, right? And I remember 2002 when Pastor Chris first released the satellite and had his own station, and people were criticizing him, saying, "No, Pastor, yeah, this is demonic. This thing is why you people should calm down." Because I wasn't born then. But then people were like, "What I read, people were like, no, they should calm down." And then Pastor was like, they're not seeing what he's saying. He's seeing the future. He was preparing himself for our generation, because we still have CDs of messages. We still have, people do still go buy those CDs. But we don't expect the Gen Z to go and buy that. And then the difference is that we Gen Zs, I believe we are bold when it comes to our Christianity. We're bold. We're not just believers. We also want to understand the message. Unlike our forefathers, where they were believers, but even without understanding, they'll still believe. But we Gen Z, we always want to ask questions. We question everything. Why is this pastor this way? Why is this pastor this? Why is this someone this way? Why is it not this way? Or two pastors are preaching something, and then we always have questions like, what this man said is different from what this man said. Are you sure this message is the same thing or something like that? That's one thing I noticed about we Gen Zs. What do you think about the pressure? Like, is there pressure?
Yes, there's pressure. Everybody in this generation wants to be seen, wants to be heard. And sometimes when you're standing on your faith, they'll call you too religious, too spiritual, too judgmental. And it's something that some Christians actually struggle with. And one of those Christian pressures is to be perfect. You know, when you start, because when I started my Bible study on TikTok, everybody expected me to be perfect. They were asking me questions that me self I don't even know.
Blow your mind.
Or when I listen to some music, which are not really bad. They
Yeah,
are called
people come to
music. They'll be like, I'm pastor wife, you know you don't marry pastor, this and that you're not supposed to be listening to this kind of music. So that's I was not really thinking that this thing is not supposed to be like this. It was not making me who I'm not supposed to be. I was not pressured into stopping the Bible studies for a while. Sometimes they'll tell me I don't practice what I preach. But actually I preach what I stop in some areas. I don't preach what I don't do. So what do you think? What do you think is the top pressure that Christians struggle with?
Like for we Gen Zs, I would say is maybe there's no confidence in our community, whereby we Gen Z see ourselves doing the same thing, but then we still question why this person is doing this thing. For instance, like you gave an example of people coming to your to your comment section or telling you, criticizing your Bible study, and these are fellow Christians too, right? And then the pressure there is that you have some certain young Christians who want to do so much, want to do so many things, and when these comments start coming in, they begin to backslide because these people were expected to be perfect. Meanwhile, you're also not perfect, right? You're also not perfect. But that's the question. You actually want to marry a pastor? I don't understand.
I can marry. It's not that I want to. It's
If
just I can marry a doctor. I can marry this. I can marry engineer.
anybody
I
should write
can.
it down. She wants to marry a pastor. She wants to marry a pastor. But then I think the pressure is there. The pressure is there. But I've also faced, you know, that amount of pressure before where like my TikTok as well, I used to have very secular content. And the day I started posting, because I had to delete all my content and I started posting gospel content. A friend of mine came to my day and said, Ava, why are you posting that kind of thing now? You don't become pastor. Da, 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 da. I felt different at first, but the difference was not, it was encouraging at the same time. It had the bad side of it because like, am I now being different from my friend? He now started like staying away from me. He wasn't like talking to me as before. He now see me as pastor, that kind of stuff. If he's going out to parties, he will not call me. But when I go to understand something that's actually the kind of life I want for myself. I don't want to be involved in the worldly things anymore, right? So me bringing out that Christian side of me made me lose that bad friend that will have influenced me like badly, or should I say? So for you people watching us, if you're a young Christian creator and you're being pressured by your comments, by your friends, why are you doing this kind of thing? You don't do it. Don't let anybody pressure you, right? Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, you might not be perfect, but in Christ you are perfect. I believe so. And just keep being yourself, right?
Yes. And don't care what other people think about you. Just care what God thinks about you.
Say that again, please. Say
Don't
that
care
again.
what other people think about you. Only care what God thinks about you. You don't need
Exactly.
to seek validation from your fellow people.
At all. You don't need it at all. Only God can validate you. Now let's move on. Let's talk about social media. Because this is where all these things happen, both the pressure, the motivation, everything happens on social media.
I think social media has the good effects and the bad effects. First, I'll start with the good effects. We have worship, online sermons. Yeah, some people even, I heard some people encounter God through online, social media and stuff. And the bad side is Christians looks performative, perfect relationship with God, perfect this, perfect that. And so, cause for me, I thought that some people posting Christian content on TikTok, I was not like, this person's relationship with God is so perfect. I was not like doubting myself if God is even with me and so on. So I think social media depends on who is using it and what you are using it for. What do you think?
Yeah, I would like to even like for people who are watching, who are viewing things on social media, like you should know the kind of person that you are, what you can take in, and how you can handle it, right? If I'm talking to Christians now. If you're a Christian, a young Christian, one thing you should first do is work on your FYP. Like your FYP should be something that if I take your phone and I go to your Instagram, your TikTok, and I scroll to your FYP, I should be able to be motivated. And like I say, there's the both positive side and the negative side. There's some people that social media has helped them. There's some that social media has destroyed them. Again, but you know yourself. Why ask yourself, why am I on this page? Why am I on TikTok? Why am I on Instagram? Am I here to watch Shakira, or am I here to watch Odumodu? Why am I here? I'm here to be motivated. There are people online who are preaching an amazing message. There are people online who are sharing the gospel so amazing. There are people who are motivating us. There are people they are not pastors, but when you listen to them, you are inspired. Have those kind of people on your FYP. I don't think you watch those kind of people and then you start getting pressured over not being yourself on social media, right? And to all of you who are not yet Christians, this is the right time for you to join us, right? That's why we have this podcast for you to listen to us, for you to be inspired by what we do. Any more conclusions, additions?
Yeah, about that FYP stuff, because I want to share a story. There was some time I saw a video on my FYP about this construct, deconstructing Christianity.
Okay.
So I watched that video to the end, and I asked my mommy some questions because I normally ask her some questions. She was not like, that she did not have the answers to those questions. She was like, why are you watching something that is against your Christianity? Because those things you're watching actually makes you question your religion. So I was actually questioning Christianity, that why is it like this? Why is it like that? So it actually pulls you away from God. And sometimes you wake up one morning and think, why are you far from God? That's the reason you are far from God, because of your FYP. So yeah, change your FYP, because some of your FYP is whack.
Very whack. Very, very whack. So listen to Empress. Change your FYP, please. Change it. And in case you're wondering, where are we from? We're from Love Word. to be specific, Lobwood Kingdom. Yeah, and you might see us, coming over here to share some things from the Rational Realities, be motivated that yes, we're actually doing this. And thanks to my man of God, ILS team, Reverend Dr. Chris, DSC, Didi. And while we're talking about the social media thing, I just stumbled upon a page here. It says use every platform available. I'm talking to those of you who want to share a message like us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Use every platform what's available. You get. So don't look at I don't have data, I don't have this, I don't have that. Get a set of people together, or you can just take your phone, look at your put it on your window, make a video. Make sure that every day you're doing that, or you're trying to reach out to somebody. Share your message. Don't hold back your message. Thank you very much.
God bless you.